Alive Conference 2025 is a 3-day encounter designed to activate your calling, stir your faith, and connect you with something bigger than yourself. Get ready for an atmosphere full of encounter, powerful worship, anointed messages, and master classes designed to strengthen you spiritually, personally, and in your leadership. This conference creates a space for believers who want to encounter God and see their spiritual gifts activated. No matter where you find yourself, this is your moment. November 6th through the 8th, here in Orlando, Florida. What happens in these 3 days could shape the next 30 years of your life. Alive Conference 2025, revival is here. Head to aliveconference.org to register now. Come ready, come hungry, leave transformed.
The truth is that all little things that people fight over is that way.
Right.
It's either somebody's going to bow the knee, somebody's going to submit, or you're going to have two people that are knocking heads all the time and then be in divorce court and call it unreconcilable difference.
Right.
When truthfully, nobody just learned to submit and stop making a big deal out of little things.
Right.
And we could go through those little things. It's not like I don't like you. I married you because I liked you.
Yeah.
Like out of all the people in the world, you had a ceremony in front of all of your family and friends.
Right.
And probably spent a boatload of money to confess your love to the end of the world. But then you figure out that they leave crumbs on the counter.
Right.
Or you figure out that they leave their socks in the bed. Or you figure out that they left the light on that you wouldn't have left on.
Right.
And I think that the whole thing is like, don't make a small thing a big thing.
Right.
And you can love somebody but still not like something that they do, but don't let it become this snowball effect where now like starts to turn into it's affecting your love, and now you have a disdain for that person. All right, welcome to another episode, everybody, of Doing Life with Ken and Tabitha. Pumped to have you with us today. Today's topic is hilarious to me. It is really, really funny. It's really, really funny because it's how to love your spouse when you don't like them right now.
Ooh.
I don't know. Has that ever happened for you where you?
I was just saying, I don't know if I'll be able to do this podcast because,
how lovable I am.
Yeah, you're just so wonderful
I'm like the most lovable person on the
I
planet,
mean,
right?
yeah. I mean, how can I speak
Not just
into
lovable,
this?
but likable as well. You've never not liked me. No way, no how. That's impossible.
I think that's what people think about you.
You think so?
Just being a Pastor Ken.
No.
Pastor Ken is perfect. He doesn't do anything.
No, I think people think that about you. You can tell in the comments. Just read the comments. I see you in the comments. Y'all, she's the angel. I'm like, I'm all right. What you like?
I admit.
Your hair.
I admit that I do things.
You're radiant. He's just lucky to have you. Like I'm just chopped liver on the side of the street. I've done nothing here.
That's
nothing
funny.
good in my life.
Yeah.
If you love me at all, please let me know. I'm very insecure right now. Welcome to our podcast, though. If you're new to our podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can be the first to get the content whenever it is released. We love you guys. Hey, we got a conference that's coming up. It's coming up real soon. It's actually coming up in a couple of months. In the beginning of November, I just feel like this is a space that you want to be in. So could you do this? Just ask the Lord and say, God, do you want me to go to Orlando? And do you want me to be a part of Alive Conference? If you want more information about Alive Conference, as you can see on my hat, go over to the link in our show notes and just check it out, man. I think we have some sessions, some classes, an atmosphere, an environment. I believe 3 days could change the next 30 years of your life. And there's no place like being in Orlando. I mean, you can go hang out at the amusement parks and also worship Jesus all in the same vacation. That'd be a good time to me. But I'm looking forward to this, man. And so how to love your spouse even when you don't like them. Why do you think we'd even need to talk about this?
It's just, I feel like people get love and like mixed up.
Okay.
And that, you feel like you don't have to like someone to love them.
Say more.
And someone can get on your nerves. Like there are things that you do that I don't like. That doesn't mean that I don't love you. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that I want to end our marriage. That doesn't mean that you're some despicable person, like it just means that, well, I didn't like that. So
what is it that I do you don't like? I'm interested.
I don't know, but there are things that you do that I don't like.
You do.
Not that I have anything on my mind.
Okay.
Are there things that I do that you don't like?
Yeah, I got a whole list of stuff, but
I don't care to know them, so I'm not asking you for them.
I think you should care to know them. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you feel like if there are things about your spouse that you don't like, should you tell them?
I mean, I think you should. I mean, to a point. I mean, we have family meetings and we have discussions where we say, hey, I don't like it when you do this. Nitpicky things, as well as more serious, more deep things, maybe a character flaw,
Well, I think that's the problem. People don't know the difference between big things and nitpicky things.
But I think you should talk about them all. There's a time and a place for everything.
Okay. You just don't feel like that time.
Yeah, it's like, when no, I could talk about it now. So, like, I don't like that you, what I don't like. I don't like it that you leave lights on. I don't like it that you leave lights on. So we'll go to bed, and maybe I'll wake up in the middle of the night, go get some water or something, and the lights are on, like blasted, like it's middle of the day blasted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are all the lights on? So I don't like that. I was raised that you just turn off the lights.
Well, what's funny about that is I feel like I turn off lights all the time. And that's the thing in marriage. I feel like I'm doing that all the time, but you never really appreciate when I do it. And you pick out the times that I might not do it, and it might not even be me. It might be one of the kids, and then I get blamed for it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm using that just as I'm just trying to piggyback off and just be like, what's in people's house? And I think that that's in people's house. Like, I mean, there's just all kinds of things you can do. Like, you have a lot of rules. You have you take your shoes off before you come in the house, which I understand that rule. Don't make a mistake about it. But then you take your shoes off again before you go into our bedroom. So, like, the house shoes.
That one I can see. Because this is what makes my blood pressure rise. When you tell me that I have a lot of rules. Because it's like, it's just it's not like my rule. This is like something you should do, like brush your teeth. Like, that's not my rule. Brush your teeth. That's like, so like when you come in the house, I'm like, that's not a rule. Just please take off your shoes. And it's not.
But it is a
rule.
rule.
Secondly,
okay, go ahead.
It's not my rule. It's our rule because you and I agree that we're going to take our shoes off in the house.
That wasn't even
so.
the point,
When I have to remind you of your own rule, that makes me irritated.
Yeah, well, you're making it out something to be like, okay, yes, I agree. Take your shoes off when you come in the house. But I don't know if I completely agree with taking your shoes off before you go in our bedroom.
You're right.
Meaning that not the shoes that were outside, the house shoes that you were walking around the house in, you can't bring those into the bedroom.
And I have reasons. Would you like to hear them?
I don't know. I mean, go
and
ahead.
the thing is, okay, so yeah, and we've discussed this rule, right? We've discussed it. But I didn't, I try, and we've had trial and error over the years where it's like you walk in the bedroom and you got your shoes on, and I'm like, Ken, can you take your shoes off? And you're like in the middle of your stride.
But I can tell by the way that you're going that you don't understand the point. The point is not that you don't have a reason for the rule. The point is just that that's just another rule, another something that I have to do. The point is, you don't want your white carpet messed up. You don't want certain things from outside in the hallway, I guess, to be brought into the bedroom. You're trying to create. I get it, but it's just another rule. You can't see that that's just another rule. But I can give you a lot of rules like that.
I see that it's another rule. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what's the point?
I'm just saying, I don't know what the point is. I feel like we kind of got off to a bad start. The point.
This is the example. Don't do what we just did.
Well, I think the point is that you can love who you don't like.
Right.
And when we're talking about not liking someone, it's not like the big things. It's these little things, these idiosyncrasies. And we talked about, do we talk about them? Well, yeah, you need to talk about them because we've talked about that. And many times I'm just like, honestly, I just say, well, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's a fight that I'm going to win. Number one. Number two, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. I'll take my shoes off before I go in.
Right.
We had this whole thing going on with the bathroom door, and we don't have a vent into our bathroom. It was a bad construction thing, and she'd go in there, and she didn't like the way it smelled, so she wanted to prop open the door, and I thought it was ratchet the way she prop opened the door, and she didn't like. So I was like, well, just do whatever you want to do. Now, she removed the thing from the door, but to me, it's just like marriages are filled with those things.
Yeah.
And so I think we go on and on.
Yeah.
If we're going too far, we probably get upset and then we have to.
But I think what we've learned, I mean, in that, like even with the door example, there are some things that typically on an issue, one of us feels more strongly than the other. Like I don't like it, like with the door issue. I don't like it. You know, I wanted to use something to prop the door open because that makes me happy. But it seemed like it was more irritating to you that there was something in the door propping it open. And so I'm like, you know, I'm in the bathroom for like a minute, you know. I can handle the door being closed for a minute.
The truth is that all little things that people fight over is that way.
Right.
It's either somebody's going to bow the knee, somebody's going to submit, or you're going to have two people that are knocking heads all the time and then be in divorce court and call it unreconcilable difference.
Right.
When truthfully, nobody just learned to submit and stop making a big deal out of little things.
Right.
And we could go through those little things. It's not like I don't like you. I married you because I liked you.
Yeah.
Like out of all the people in the world, you had a ceremony in front of all of your family and friends.
Right.
And probably spent a boatload of money to confess your love to the end of the world, but then you figure out that they leave crumbs on the counter,
Right.
or you figure out that they leave their socks in the bed, or you figure out that they left the light on that you wouldn't have left on.
Right.
And I think that the whole thing is like, don't make a small thing a big thing.
Right.
And you can love somebody but still not like something that they do, but don't let it become this snowball effect where now like starts to turn into it's affecting your love, and now you have a disdain for that person.
Well, I think it's those little things that we build a mountain with, right?
Yes,
and so it's those little things, and now we make turning off the light, like we make a case against your character,
Right.
and who you are,
Right.
and what kind of person would do those kinds of things,
And I've
like
told you
leave
this
crumbs
before.
on the countertop.
We've talked about this before.
And we belittle you like you're a child. And now I'm your mother or I'm your father, and I got to correct you and tell you what to do and what not to do. And it just becomes really ugly.
And I mean, honestly, that's why I was bringing it up. I was just trying to stir up, like, okay, what else do you not like?
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, okay, I can take it publicly, but at the same time, I think it's good conversation of like, okay, what is the big deal with that? Because these are the little foxes that are spoiling the vines. That's what
And
the
that's
scripture
Bible.
says.
Yes.
There's little foxes that are spoiling
Right.
the vine. And so, I don't know.
Yeah. I think I love this conversation because I'm laughing. Like it's funny to me when you tell me things that you don't like about me. It makes me laugh because I try to be very real with myself and very honest, to be self-aware. So like when you tell me about myself, I know that you're right. It's your perspective. I can't tell you that you're wrong. That's your perspective. And I have a very strong strong case to build against you to tell you why I'm right and you're wrong or whatever.
Right, and that's what I was saying before.
Yeah. But at the
case.
same time, it doesn't, it just doesn't matter to me. It's funny. Like you have to laugh about it.
Right. I think for me, if I was to give somebody advice, we've been married for 26 years, my advice would be like, let it go.
Yeah.
Like live fun, live free, live grace-filled. Like it's not that big a deal. Whether I take off my shoes or whether I don't take off my shoes.
Yeah.
This ain't solving world hunger.
Yeah.
Either way, whether you have the bathroom cracked or whether you don't,
The door. Yeah.
I'm having trouble coming up with something else that I don't like.
What don't you like from me? I think you just don't like my rules. I think probably not wearing your shoes in the
But
bedroom.
the
is a
crazy
big one.
thing is that I do like your rules because your rules have created order, it's created safety, it's created cleanness. The thing that I feel like sometimes I don't like with some of the rules is that they can be applied with a level, a tone that feels like I'm a child.
Yeah.
And as a man, when somebody tells me to turn off the light, I kind of think like, well, I'm paying for the bills. I pay for the house, which you pay too. But what I'm saying is like, you go to a respect and an honor thing more so. Like, why are you on me about turning off the light? If I want to keep every light on this home on, I'm gonna pay for it at the end of the day. Like, be happy you got a roof over your head, you got a bed that you got a $3,000 mattress.
That's hilarious.
It's more like okay, I got it, I heard you. And then especially if you're working real hard, it's like almost if you do something really good for your spouse and they don't acknowledge it at all. Like you came and you cleaned the kitchen and you just went straight to the kitchen like they didn't do it. And it's like, but I turn the lights off like every night. You never say nothing about that. Then it's almost like you're just ignoring things and you're looking for things. And I just feel like there are some people who are in relationships with people that are always pointing out the negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's tough too.
It is tough. I mean, especially I know for me, like, yeah, I know, like at this point, after 26 years of marriage, at this point, I know when I cross the line with you. And and I would never honestly do it on purpose. Like I'm not trying to disrespect you and kind of like dishonor you in your home. But I know when I cross the line where I make you feel dishonored. I just know you. I know your personality, your swag, like your body movements, how I would offend you with saying something like, babe, turn off the light, or I don't know, just treating you like a child. Or, sometimes it's like I'm on a roll. I'm getting stuff done and I'm telling the kids, you do this and you do that and da-da-da-da-da and Ken da-da-da, and I just hit you with like with one swoop, like I did the kids and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
and
definitely
it's
not
like,
a child. I'm definitely not one of them.
Yeah. But but I have to recognize that. And I think a lot of people don't recognize, especially women. The Bible talks about a nagging wife. And I'm telling you, I didn't know that was in the Bible, but when I found it out, I set myself like, I am not going to be a nagging
really good
wife.
Job of not doing that. We're highlighting at 26 years.
I don't want to do that.
Hard time even remembering stuff like that. The bathroom piece and the shoe piece, I was just thinking about it earlier, but you have purpose yourself not to be that.
Yeah. But it's
but you do have a part of your personality that could easily go there.
Oh, if I wanted to,
Right.
I could go there.
It could be very bossy.
Yep.
Very
and I
your
can do
way
that
or
with my
highway.
children too. I don't want to be
Very
that kind of
judgmental.
mom with my kids. Like I just want people to just be able to make mistakes and be okay.
Be getting those kids. Tell you
they
what.
fire me up. I'm telling you.
I'm the calm one. Somebody in the house got
Until you're not.
Until I'm not.
Yes.
Well, this the whole thing. They don't want me to get upset.
Nobody wants you. They did. And then they crossed the line and they made my husband upset. So I'm in the kitchen interceding for my husband, my children. Lord, please don't let my husband kill the
gonna come
children.
around like every few years, like a comment. But I'm counting to 10. No, don't do that. Don't do. I'm very calm. But then when it's over, it's over. This is what I've learned about love. Okay, because like and love is two different things. If you feel like you've fallen out of love with your spouse, the easiest way to get back into love is to take a step back into like. And I think that there are specific things that you have to do to keep liking each other.
Yeah.
There needs to be some activities that you have together. If he loves bowling and you love golf and you never see eye to eye and you have separate friends, you have to pick something that you guys want to do together. You should have activities that you want to do. So if she really wants to go to London, but you hate London, why don't you just take her to London anyway? Why don't you submit to one another and just find out, because think about when you're dating, you're doing new activities together, you're learning about, so endorphins are high. There's a lot of newness. There's a lot of butterfly stuff happening in this new relationship. We're trying out new foods. I'm learning your perspective. I'm learning your political persuasions. You lean this way or that way. And it's all of these things. And it's almost like if you're not careful in marriage, it's like, we've been there, we've done that. Oh, we go out to eat all the time. But what are you going to do to kind of sprucing it up?
Yeah.
And I just feel like the like side of your relationship is huge. Now, we can define what love is, and we know that love is different than like, but I think that we can be intentional about liking each other. Is there anything else that you would say as it relates to advice of how to stay in like?
I think there's a lot of intentionality with it. I talk to myself. We should all talk to ourselves. You talk to yourself. Some of us talk bad to ourselves, but I've purposed myself to talk good to myself. But then I also talk to myself about you, my husband. And there are intentional set times that whether we're on date night or maybe it's just in the morning and I saw you the first time I saw you for that day or the last time I'm giving you a kiss goodnight, I will intentionally in my heart say, I like this man. I like everything about him. It could be like, oh, well, I saw you for the first time today and I like your outfit, or, I like what you just said to me. I like how kind you were. I like how you were to my kids. And I'll just take those moments and talk to myself. I like him. I like him. I like him. And I think that just does a lot for me to just keep my like for you at a high level.
Yeah. Because, if you have the other in your heart, it's going to come into your actions. It's just like we have someone that we live near and there's been some conversations and some things that's happened with the neighbor. and I was having all of these thoughts that are just very negative thoughts. It's almost like making me not want to go outside, making me not want to jog, making me not want to see that person. And I just had to put it to a stop and say, no, I'm going to think well of that person.
Right.
And I'm going to say, I live in the best neighborhood in America. I have some of the best neighbors in America. And if I see that person, I'm going to talk with them, because that's a lot better than letting my mind meditate on negativity.
Yeah.
That's going to come in my actions when I see them. So it's going to be important in the marriage to just, I got to meditate. And I thought that about you when I saw you today. When you got up, I was like, oh, she's so beautiful. And I had that thought, and I said that to myself. And then as I was praying for you this day, I was just praying over you that you're anointed and wise, and that the desires of your heart are being met. And I think if you stay on that side of the pendulum, even as you go through disagreements, you'll just bounce back.
Right.
You know?
I think, but we do the opposite with these little things.
It's little things.
We see he didn't turn off the light. He left his socks in the bed. He left the door open. Da, 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 da. And these are all negative things. So all day you're thinking about this negativity. And when you see that person, of course you're not greeting them with a kiss and a hug and like, oh, baby, I'm so happy to see you. Like, because all day you've built up a case against them.
Yeah. That's really good.
I want to do the opposite. All day I'm building up a case for you.
Yeah.
And even if you do something that I don't like, I come back and now I'm arguing for you and not against you in my own heart.
Right, right. So, even when we started our church, I wanted to be like really good at loving people and really good at loving God. You know how love is the great commandment. Love the Lord thy God, all thy heart, soul, mind, strength. Love your neighbor like yourself. Upon these two hang everything else. Before we started the church, I spent years just studying love. And so love as it relates to loving God, loving people, the love in marriage, it's still something that I just really, really love. But here's a few things that I feel like we've learned about love over the years. That love is a choice. It's not just a feeling.
Yes.
And that's huge. Love is a choice. It's a choice. It's not just a feeling. So our emotions are going to go up and down. Our feelings are going to go up and down. There's going to be times that I say something to you that is taken the wrong way, or I said it the wrong way. There's going to be times where something happens. That's just a relationship. But my love is a choice. It's not just a feeling. It's not, the feelings are going to go up and down and all around. And the choice to I'm going to love you in spite of is very important to know that it's a choice, that I just choose to love you unconditionally till death do us part. There's a power in choice.
Absolutely. I think we can make the right choice every single time. And the Bible says that God says, I lay before you life and death, blessing and cursings. And then he gives you the answer, choose life.
Right.
So we can always choose life by what we say.
Right. I've also learned that love is a commitment, not just a feeling. So it's a choice, but then it's a commitment. So I just want to talk to the people who are like, well, I just feel like we're not in love any longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, choose to commit to one another first.
Yeah.
Choose. It's not about your feeling. It's a choice, then it's a commitment.
Choice.
I commit to this person. And so I think that sometimes our definitions of love, now, when you study love, you have eros, sexual love, phileo, friendly love. You have storge, which is like family love. But this agape love that's written about in 1 Corinthians 13, it's like a commitment. It's a choice. It's a others serving, others seeking, God kind of love. When God says, I am love, he is agape love. And it's the same power of love that he gives us that we really need in a marriage. But it's a choice, and it's also a commitment. We've learned that love is not a feeling, okay? And so, of course, we have a book that is coming out really, really soon called Butterfly Love. And you got to get a copy of this one. This is like our life story. This is like our 26 years of marriage. And we really just walk you through the pages of how we met, how we came together.
Yeah.
And the first part of our marriage, which was the butterfly stage. And then we talk about how that went away, but then how to get it back and how to live a life with butterfly love. I just feel like it's a dope love story. I think you're really going to like it. It's not like tactical, like most of our stuff is like teaching. This is like through the story of our ups and downs, her breaking up with me, all kinds of things. You're going to learn principles of what to and what not to do. But the principle is really about butterfly love, which is an infatuation. It's like this butterflies that's in your stomach, and you think that's going to go on forever, and it doesn't. It's one stage of the relationship. You have the infatuation stage. You have the fight for power stage. That's where most divorces happen. And then you have the maturity stage where I choose to love you because you're you. I commit to love you and to be with you no matter what you do or say. And so we want to get through the fight for power stage. But a lot of people, they think that love is the infatuation stage, and they get stuck in the butterfly feelings. So when it goes away, they're like, okay, we're out of love. And that's not even what real love is.
That's so good.
And then we have agape love is really good at forgiving. All right. We've learned that over the years that agape love is really good at forgiving. It keeps no records of wrong. It's not going tick for tack. And then we've also loved that love thinks the best and it believes the best of every person. And that's what 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 talks about. It talks about this. It says, love suffers long and is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't parade itself. It's not puffed up. It doesn't behave rudely. It doesn't seek its own. It's not easily provoked. It thinks no evil. It does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hope all things, endures all things. Love never fails.
Yes, love believes the best. And I think that's something that, I practice probably on a daily basis with any offenses, especially towards you, especially towards your spouse, that, sometimes things happen. And like maybe you did leave the house a wreck. Like, and maybe I look at it, I'm like, man, the lights are on, the door's thrown open, the bed's not made. Maybe that's so. But instead of me thinking, oh my gosh, he's a terrible, despicable human being. He must be some type of monster. How could I have let him live with me all of these years, and thinking all this horrible stuff. He doesn't respect me. He doesn't care about my rules, like all of this stuff. Or I could be like, I wonder why he was in such of a hurry. This isn't like him. I know that, he knows, he follows the rules. He does all of these things. Wow. Let me call him and make sure he's okay. Let me see if there's anything else I can help him with. Oh, let me clean up because I know that he don't want to come home to this mess.
Yeah.
Love thinks the best.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. I like this one in the Message Bible, 1 Corinthians 13:4. It says, no matter what I say, what I believe, or what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others, isn't always me first, doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't keep score of the sins of others, doesn't revel when others grovel, takes pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trusts God always looks for the best, never looks back, but keeps going to the end. Same verses, different translation. The Message Bible kind of gives us a message.
Wow.
Same thing, though. Same thing, right? Always looks for the best, never looks back. And so here's some practical advice, really, guys, about how to, just kind of grow in like with your spouse. Got to get curious. Not frustrated, but curious, You got to ask yourself, what's changed? What's changed? When did I stop enjoying them? Are we disconnected? Are we both carrying unspoken burdens? Often dislike is a symptom of unmet needs, miscommunication, emotional buildup, et cetera, et cetera. Number 2 is reconnect with who they were and who they're becoming. Reflect on what you admired, what you laughed at or enjoyed when you were first falling in love. Ask God to give you a fresh eyes to see your spouse with compassion and not compare. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8 says that love, it covers a multitude of sin. Number 3 would be check the emotional distance and close the gap. Sometimes I don't like them really means I don't feel connected, seen, or safe with them anymore. And sometimes you can start small, having a quick conversation, go on a walk, ask a question like, what's been hard for you lately? What do you wish I understood about you better right now? Liking someone often comes back through intentional curiosity and also kindness. Number 4 would be get support without shame. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to fix it alone. A counselor, a pastor, a trusted couple can help you navigate this without judgment. Marriage is a spiritual and emotional warfare. You need people who will fight with you. And then number 5 is pray honestly and let God work on both of you. Create in me a clean heart, O God, the psalmist said in 51 division, verse number 10. O God, renew a right spirit within me. Ask God to help you love with eyes of love and heal what's been hard to be healed from, and restore what's been lost and renew what's been forgotten. And sometimes God will soften your heart before he changes your situation.
Wow. I think, I would add to that to, just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enjoy life and have fun with your spouse, like to be friends and best friends. It's rare that we like argue and fight and kind of like fall out with our friends, like our best friends. I mean, it happens, of course.
Some people let their friends do anything and still be friends.
Exactly. We give so much grace to our friends, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why we don't give as much grace to our spouses. I think it's just the spiritual warfare of marriage.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that you married your spouse because this is your friend. This is your best friend. So let's enjoy life and have a good time and laugh at each other and not take yourself so seriously.
Yeah. So good. So good. And so here's just a final thought we want you to take away. Like can be rebuilt. Love can be rekindled. All right. You may not like your spouse today, but that doesn't mean you won't on tomorrow. And so there are some intentional things. And I would just encourage you to be the hero in the home. Let's say that you're listening and watching and your spouse isn't listening or watching. Why don't you come up with a list of things that you can do yourself to fall back in like and also fall back in love with the one that you've married. And then we can talk about doing it vice versa. All right. And so our prayer for your relationships is that you don't just love each other, you grow to like each other. We got a ton of content. If you just go through, jump over to our YouTube channel or just kind of scroll through your podcast or Spotify, wherever you're listening and watching, we got a ton of content. I mean, ton of good content that will really help you get the romance back. I think we did a podcast where we gave you 100 different ways to get the romance back.
Wow.
We talked about having date nights and family meetings and so many different things. And I just want you to know there is hope for your tomorrow. And we'll be here to do life with you all the way. So we're out of time for today, but we love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, if you're new to our podcast, hit the subscribe button so that you can get the content as soon as it's released every Thursday at 3 p.m. Write us, share this episode with other people. Let us know how this is being a blessing to you. Come and worship with us sometime. Come to the live conference, man. We're going to have a good time. You'll be glad that you did. Until next Thursday, we'll see you soon. Peace.